Welcome to the Masters Bikini and Fit Model podcast, where we celebrate the women proving that strength, beauty, discipline, and stage presence do not expire with age. I'm your host, Lacy Green, IFBB Bikini Pro and Coach, and joining me is my co-host, Kyla Dickerson, IFBB Fit Model Pro and Coach. Together, we're bringing you real conversations, expert insight, athlete stories, and encouragement for women who are building their best physique in the Masters divisions of Bikini and Fit Model. Whether you're already competing, preparing for your first show, dreaming about the stage, or simply inspired by strong women who refuse to let age define what is possible, you are in the right place. Welcome to the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to podcast number 2. You guys liked number 1, so we said, let's do another one. So hello, Kyla. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing wonderful. It's Wednesday and it's sunny in San Diego, so I can't complain.
I love it when you say that. It's so
I know.
happy.
It's
Well,
so
today, we can't say this every time, but today it's sunny in Alabama.
Oh, yay! Yay. I know. It's like, I feel like Anchorman when it's like, it's sunny in San Diego.
Yes.
But it is most of the time, y'all. It really is. It's supposed to be June gloom, and it's June, and it is not gloomy, and I'm not mad about
Good.
it. So,
yeah, nobody wants the gloom. Today, I got so cold inside that I went outside to warm up, and it's really humid, and I love it. I'm one of those weird people that the more humid it is, the happier I am. And I sat
wow.
outside for like 20 minutes just to warm up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't, humidity and me just don't. I sweat too easily with that. I'm just like, ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Like Florida and me we wouldn't mix very well. But
Yeah. I don't particularly like Florida. It feels like a moat to me.
yeah,
I'm at the
yeah,
top of Alabama, so maybe I'm not as like Florida feeling. I don't know, but I do like to be warm. I love to be hot as can be.
yeah. I'm kind of in the middle. That's why I live in San Diego because it's like 72
Yeah,
and sunny, and that is like perfect for me. I don't want to be in the 80s really, and I don't want to be in the 40s. So,
sure. All right. So what's going on this week? What have you been up to?
oh, what have I been up to? I have been coaching clients and lifting, trying to get this booty growing, just being a single dog mom because my husband's out of town in Canada for work and
Yeah.
dealing with, being a single dog mom. I know it sounds crazy, but my dogs are like children. They're Australian Shepherds and they're like having toddlers.
What are their
So,
names?
so we've got Callie, who
Mhm.
is 7, and Maverick is 4. And Maverick is like the Tasmanian devil. He's the cutest, but he doesn't have like, he's like the Energizer bunny. He does not have like an off switch. And so
Oh,
that's a little rough sometimes, but no, I love them both. They're both adorable. Callie's definitely more chill. She got spine surgery less than a year ago. And so she went to PT earlier this week with my husband while I was teaching class. And then she went on a long walk later that day, and I think she was just pooped from it all day. So she's kind of like turning into an old lady, and it's making me kind of sad.
oh, it reminds me of like I had shoulder surgery last year, and when I had PT, like the littlest things would wipe me out for the day. So
Yeah,
she's just like a little person.
yeah, she is there. They're like little
Oh,
people. How about you? How's your week? How are you recovering from your surgery? I think our viewers want to
yes.
hear about this because
Yes, and we should talk about it. Yeah,
we should.
so last week when we recorded the podcast, we always record on Wednesdays. I was preparing, I was one day before my surgery to have my breast implants put back in. So
Yeah.
I am post-op day 6 today, and I am feeling really good, surprisingly. I was just
So
telling
happy.
Kyla before we started, I was putting my little jacket on. My husband left for work this morning before I got out of bed, and I didn't think about what I was wearing today. And I'm like, oh boy, because I can't put my hands over my head. I'm like
Right.
T-Rex arms right now. And I had to find this little jumper that I had that pulls up and over my shoulders. So I put a jacket on because you guys, you didn't buy tickets to the gun show, so I'm not going to show you my muscles today. But
Oh, come on. This
but
is a master's bikini and fit
yeah,
model podcast.
where you
Like,
do get to see them. But I didn't think once I put it on, I felt all happy with myself. And I'm like, oh shoot, I pee all day long. What is this going to be
yeah.
like? So man, it's been a journey all day peeing with this jumper on.
Oh, jumpers are the cute. Like I have so many of those onesie jumpers, like bombshell sportswear, all that. But the minute,
Yeah.
and they're so the ones that are tight and you have to pee, we all drink water
Oh,
in this industry, in this field. And
right.
so, yeah, that can't be good. But it's the perfect thing for you in the surgery. So I
Yeah.
want to ask you though, because I feel like our listeners want to know, because a lot of competitors have, breast implants. Some choose to,
Hmm.
some choose not to. Like Lorelai, right? She's
Hmm.
major Olympian, bikini
Yeah.
Olympian. She doesn't have any implants at all, and she's still very symmetrical, very balanced. I
Yes.
have implants. I have a story with that, and I feel like it balances me out. So tell us, because you had them before, and then
Hmm.
took them out, and then put them back in.
Yeah.
So tell us the story.
Yeah. Let's talk about how that went. I actually got them the first time about 10 years ago when I first started weight training. I had all my babies and I started lifting weights and I began really looking at my body aesthetically. And I think I mentioned before, I'm more of an athletic build, very blocky. And I was flat chested after nursing my babies. It's not fair because when I was nursing them, I was eating big old boobs. And
Right.
then you stop nursing and it's like, oh, okay, well, the milk's gone, so everything else is. And I started to really notice that my shape was really negatively impacted by not having them. I didn't feel personally very feminine. I thought, well, maybe I want to try to get implants. And so we went and got them, and I didn't really think it through a lot. I was just excited to get them.
Yeah.
And they may have been big for me at the time. I had them for about a year and I got a capsular contracture in the left implant. And it was initially not really painful, it just kind of warped the look of the breast, like made it look really tight. And if you felt it, you could feel the hardened tissue around it. And I let it go for, gosh, until 2020. And in 2020, when everything started opening back up again, I went and had a revision to that capsular contracture. And doggone it if it didn't contracture right away. I
Right
mean, it
away.
happened within weeks. It started
Wow.
to contracture and it became painful this time.
Yeah.
So I let it go until I think I really just kind of managed it until 2024. And we had moved to Alabama from Ohio, and I went to see a surgeon. And I said, what can we do? And there was a lot of options. Some of them seemed kind of complicated to me, like putting in mesh and things like that. And I was like, what if I just got them out? Now, I asked for that without knowing what they would look like. And he was very honest with me, but I heard what I wanted to hear. He's like, you're probably going to be a double A cup A if you're lucky. Well,
Mm.
it's been a long time since I've known that size, so I imagined on my own. I thought, "Oh, that'll be cute, cute little boobies. It'll be all right." And so I got them taken out. So my healing went really weird with the left breast, and Kyla saw pictures of it. It literally looked like a shark bite out of the bottom of my left breast, or what was left of it. It literally was a double A. I mean, there was just nothing left at all. He did do a lift, and so the very little breast tissue I had was perky, kind of, but they were just malformed because there's nothing in them. It's just this skin. And I dealt with that for about 2 years. I was like, I'll get padded bras, whatever. It didn't seem like a big deal. But when I competed at Wasatch, one
Mhm.
of the things I started noticing during prep was my shape was different.
Right.
And I thought, really? Could my breasts have been part of what shaped me? I always kind of believed not. I'm like, no, you don't need boobs to compete. You always hear people question that and wonder if you do need the implants. And I'm looking at symmetry and I'm going, maybe, but I could stuff my suit and that creates that symmetry. But what I realized through experience was that I was lacking in the volume at the top of the breast.
Yeah.
I could fill the suit. And if you look at my Wasatch pictures, I filled it very well with padding. But there was nothing at the top. And so it
The
just,
upper pole
this,
area. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that real pretty upper pole, which I
Hmm.
got one now. I don't know if we can see,
Look
but
at
I have the upper pole now.
it
But
looks so good.
thank
So good.
you. But I didn't realize that that would impact my overall shape. And it did overall. My shape was definitely impacted by that. And I needed to see it in pictures. And so the other thing was backstage getting tanned. Every time I've
Hmm.
ever been tanned for a show, I've had implants. I looked really bad backstage. I know it doesn't matter. We're not there to look at each other, but it created an insecurity in me where I was like very shaken in terms of my confidence on getting on stage.
Totally normal to feel that way. Like,
Well,
yeah.
everyone backstage has lovely breasts, and then there's me with my shark bite. We called her the ugly sister. Um,
I would not go that far. I would not go that far, everybody. She did not look like, no,
but
but
there was just no volume at all.
yeah.
And then something I never anticipated being an issue. And I did posing practice for months with my suit on. I never had this issue, but backstage, for some reason, the top kept slipping up. There was nothing to hold it in place. It just
Hmm.
kept sliding up. And so that got in my head. And, you know, anything that gets into your mind before you go on stage can affect your performance and the
Oh,
way that
totally.
you present. And
Absolutely.
I was really carrying a lot of that in my mind. I was scared that something would slip, or I was just afraid that something would go wrong. And so that really was hard for me. And so after the show, I talked to my husband and I said, we've talked about it for about a year, getting them again. I said, can we go ahead and go talk to the doctor and just see? So we did. He was very supportive of that. And we went and talked to the surgeon. The surgeon said, yeah, we can do it. Or I was concerned about contracture. When you contracture once, your chances of doing it again increase.
Correct. Yes.
So I was nervous about that. And he told me about this brand of implant that has really good statistics on not contracturing after having contracture. And he put me on a protocol that has had some success in terms of taking vitamin E and
Mm.
Singulair.
Oh,
And
interesting.
those two things, apparently, I don't know the science behind it, but there are some studies that support that that can help prevent contracture. And then with this implant that's specially designed for this to prevent contracture. But he did tell me it's not going to be a big implant. I have a small frame. I have a very small frame. And so I don't need a big implant. So I went with 260 cc's, and everything's so far under the muscle
Yeah,
wonderfully. Everything's going well so far. I think the shape and size is very appropriate for my body. And I'm
it
very
is.
happy that I did it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like it just goes with your body. Like she showed me the
Yeah.
pictures and it just goes perfectly with her body. And she's got that
Yeah.
upper and like, yeah, I mean, it's I'm just so happy that you're healing and that you're happy, and it does help with the overall confidence, like, my story is I got implants when I was 19. That's right. So the
Oh,
first set I
yeah.
got, I mean, I was obsessed with having big boobs, like, I, like,
Yeah.
was like Dolly Parton. I love Dolly Parton, if you know me, I love Dolly, and I was like and her boobs, I know they're out of control, but I love them. And I was like, "I want big boobs," and I always had a nice, like, B, up until that point, and I just was like, "I wanna go big," you know, and I think at my first set were if you know anything about the CCs of implants, were like 475, 485, something like that, and they were saline at the time. So saline, under the muscle, and I loved them,
Yeah.
but I was so young that as I got into fitness and everything and got leaner and lost some of that, like, baby fat that you lose in college and all, that stuff, I didn't gain the freshman 15, I, like, lost it because I couldn't figure out the bus system, and so I walked everywhere. So I actually didn't gain the freshman 15. So, anyway, I just started to feel like rippling, and so I kept them for about 7 years, and then silicone got FDA approved, and I was like, "Oh, this is it, like,
Yeah.
silicone's the best, it feels better, it's, like, looks more natural," and, but then I went, like, way too big, so I went the opposite side, way too big. Anyway, I had some complications just like Lacy. I did have a capsular contracture, all that stuff, but finally got them fixed. Had them in for 16 years, my last set, and then I went in for an MRI to check for breast cancer because my mom passed away of breast cancer, and my doctor wants me to get MRIs every other year as well as mammograms, and what they found was no cancer, yay, but a ruptured right implant. So I had no idea. I did notice when I got really lean for my show before I found this out that I saw a little dent in the top. I was like, oh, that's weird, but I'm just lean, whatever. But it turns out it was ruptured on the top right where I was seeing that. So, but there was I didn't feel anything. I didn't really see anything. So they call it a silent rupture. So I'm just telling you this, lady, so you check your implants because
Yes.
they don't last forever. So 10 years is usually kind of the shelf life.
Yeah.
And just check them, just check them, get the MRI, check them. Mammograms don't find ruptures. Mine was
No.
ruptured and mammogram never found it. And MRI is the only thing that can. Maybe an ultrasound. I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, but mine was ruptured, so I had to get it redone, and I did that at the end of 2024. So I went through kind of what Lacy did, but then I started prepping for my show and my first fit model, and then went to nationals. But I was the same. I went back and forth with, do I take them out? Do I
Yeah.
keep them in? Because there's this whole BII, like a lot of people think that breast implant illness exists. And I totally believe that. I personally don't feel like I've had anything like that with my implants, but I know friends that have. And my doctor that did these, he's in Arizona, he totally believes in that. He's taken out a lot of implants, took out his wife's. So we had a big discussion about it. And I was just like, Lacy, I was like, I cannot see myself, like my shape, my structure with competing. I just don't think it would be the look for me, And so I'm just not ready.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's your personal choice with whatever you're ready for and
Yes.
whatever you're not ready for. And I went smaller, like what you're saying, Lacy. I have no breast tissue. So I think I'm 445 right now. And that sounds maybe huge to a lot of people, but with someone that doesn't have any breast tissue, it's really basic C. But it just makes me feel better to like
Yeah.
I feel more balanced. I feel because I've got a little bit of curve to me, so it makes me kind of feel like it goes with the rest of my body. And I think if your body, your choice. That's always what I want
Yeah.
to think about with any kind of surgery. So
Well, and I think too, I want to just bring up the point that I did not get the implants for competing purposes. I think going to Wasatch was like the final thing. I'll share with you guys a little bit about what I was going through mentally in regards to that was leading to that decision. Because I kept saying, I'll tolerate them. I'll tolerate them. I did not love my little boobies, but I always joked with my surgeon, like, oh, I'm already married. I don't have to get a husband. It's okay. I got glutes.
yeah.
So you get one or the other. You don't get both, buddy. So
Well,
we
now
kind
he
of
does.
joked about that. Yeah, now he does. But we kind of joked about that. But I found myself over especially the last 6 months, I found myself when it was time to get dressed for the day, I'm going through my drawer of heavily padded bras. They are so heavily padded. And I would just kind of, I'd pull it out and be like, oh, it kind of made me feel icky when I would have to get
Yeah.
these bras out every time. And then at night when I would take it off and I would put my robe on, I mean, I just completely just flat. And I would just not even look in the mirror at bedtime because I was like, ugh. And I didn't want to feel that way about my
No.
body. I started to go, okay, this isn't good that I feel this way. I obviously liked having these implants. It just needs to be safe for my body.
Yeah.
And so I really weighed heavily what my surgeon said, and I trust him very much. Yeah, and he was excited, in fact, to put them back in. He was very excited. And so that really helped me make that decision too. And he really educated me on this particular type of implant. So stay tuned. I'll let you know if anything comes up with the contracture. On Monday, I went to the follow up and my husband asked a lot of questions like, how do we know? When are we safe? And he said, as the body heals, we'll know because we have to
Yeah.
see how the body heals around the implant. So we're just going to wait and see. But that surgery brought on a lot of other things that are great topics to talk to you guys about because I can't go to the gym for 4 weeks and I'm not allowed to walk for exercise. I'm a step girl. I'm
Yeah.
like 12,000 steps per day
Yeah.
and I
We're
can't
both
walk.
obsessed with steps.
Yeah. I mean, we can walk all over the world together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm obsessed with steps. Like I've got to know. I've got to know where I'm at. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I mean, and I was voice memoing with we voice memo back and forth, Lacy and I during the day, and I was like and I do that. I get through my voice memos and like my Marco Polos with my best friend Michelle, and like voice memos for my friends in Florida and whatever. and on my cardio, and I was on the treadmill, and I was like, "Oh my
This is
God,
so funny.
you can tell I'm on the treadmill. I'm so sorry that I'm voice mowing you on the treadmill. I don't mean to make you jealous that I'm walking on the treadmill." Because she had expressed to me like, "God, I can't," because I know how this is. Like I did mine 2 years
Yeah,
ago. At the end of this year, it'll be 2 years, and I remember like it was yesterday, just the not moving. Like I
yeah,
was like full on. I was felt like I was like spiraling, not being like I was sad. I was like this. If it wasn't
yeah.
during Christmas time, which I'm a psychotic Christmas lover, love it. I and all the movies that I watched that were Christmas movies, I've kind of planned it that way. Like I would have been so sad. And so I get
Yeah.
it, Lacey. And I was like, oh, I hope I'm not making you jealous. I'm voicing you, and you can hear me huffing and puffing up this incline treadmill.
It is funny because when I started listening to that message, she had not recognized yet that she was doing cardio. And I knew she was. I could tell by the way she was breathing. And I'm like, oh, she's so lucky. I just thought, oh man, she's so lucky. But I'm okay with it because what I'm learning this week about my body, because I was scared, like, and I'm sure a lot of girls maybe would feel this way or think this way, but I was highly active, heavy weight training, just coming out of Wasatch. How many weeks away? I mean, I was reversed, but very
Yeah,
freshly reversed.
Wasatch was what, April 18th?
April
So
18th.
less
Yeah.
than eight
So
weeks.
yeah. So I was reversed, but barely. And so I was feeling cautious still. And then to have a dramatic drop in my physical activity made me go, oh, this is a little scary to me. You know, am I going to gain a lot of body fat? And then, of course, with surgery, we gain so much in water retention.
Yeah.
And I was really afraid of, having a lot, not because, listen, we can work it all off. If we gain extra, we work it off. We're not new to this. We
And
know
then
how to
we've
get
been
off.
in
Right.
bulking, like we've been in building
Yes.
phases. It's the same idea. You
Yeah.
can't build
We can
without
work it
gaining weight.
off.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
we know.
But I love living ready. Like we talked about last
Right.
podcast, I love to live ready and I
Hmm.
love to love my body each day. And so the thought of having to endure a body that I couldn't live in kind of bothered me. I didn't want to do check-in pictures today. And then I took them and I'm like, okay, we're all right.
They look great. She shared them with me, and that she looks so good. I'm like, okay, she still has a six pack, and she still has these
Oh.
rocking shoulders. She's like, I think my butt's flattening, and I was like, nope, that's not happening either. So, but you know what? We're all our own worst critic. I was convinced I lost
Yes.
literally everything, and I was I didn't even weigh myself. I can't believe you're doing check-ins and pictures. I was like, no thanks, not doing it. And I fully love people taking care of me. I'm pretty independent, but then I'm kind of like, I like that my husband like has to like wash my hair and so I think I took advantage of it.
Yes.
I had some good moments with it, but I definitely had some bad moments of like, okay, I like am going crazy. I have to be able to move my body. But I was able to walk, I think at maybe 2 weeks. He wanted me to walk just outside, not in an incline, nothing that can raise your heart rate. And you're at the point where like you can't walk for 3 weeks. Is that what your surgeon
He
said?
said 4
Four.
weeks, no heart rate up. I'm gonna just endure it because in perspective, 4 weeks is nothing,
It's nothing.
and I'm gonna be so glad to get back to everything. I wanna get my body ready because I need a redo from Wasatch. I hate my pictures from Wasatch. I hated my hair. I hated the top of my suit and how it looked. So I need a redo.
Oh,
We're gonna have one. We're gonna do Wasatch again, but
yeah, we
I'm
are.
just toying with an idea of doing maybe something sooner. We'll see. I don't know. But definitely Wasatch for sure. That's
I'm
going to be
toying with that
girls'
idea
weekend.
too of doing
I
something
hope.
sooner.
Oh, well, nice. Well,
Yeah.
listen, girls that are listening, you pros and you amateurs, because you can do the Wasatch too. But the pros, if you want to do it, listen, let's have a meetup at Wasatch in Utah next year.
Oh, that would be fun. Whoever
It's a
wants to
great
come.
show.
And it's a great
Yeah.
show. Robin's a promoter. We love her. We want to have
Hmm.
her on this podcast
Hmm.
because she is just such she's a master's athlete herself, and she just really she doesn't
Yeah.
charge for the masters to come into her shows. Um, and I've talked to some people like outside, since we put on this podcast. I've been able to chat with a lot of you, so is Lacey, and DMs and messaging and voice mailing back and
We
forth.
love that,
And
by the way.
we
We
love that
love it,
so
by the
much.
way.
Keep like reaching out to us. I've talked to so many, and a lot of you didn't know that a lot of NPC competitors didn't know that open that you weren't charged as a pro athlete to compete. and that masters would be different, that sometimes you will be. Like
Mhm.
I told you guys in the last podcast, our first episode, you know, we didn't get charged at Wasatch, and then out in San Diego, I got charged in that show for the masters, but I wouldn't have been for the open. So
Right.
anyway, we really appreciate those that, those that don't. And Robin's one of those people that really is she's just awesome. And so, but I know a lot of you reach out to me and Lacy and just talking to us about what we talked about in our first episode and didn't know some things that we shared. So we're hoping to
Yeah.
educate. We're not the expert in everything. We'll have experts on here, but we want to share our experience so you learn something from our personal experience and stories.
When I think back to when I became a pro, I didn't know anything. Social media was a thing, but it wasn't a big thing then. And there
Yeah.
was no networking. There was no collaboration with people where you could learn these things. I
Right.
remember being backstage at my pro debut, 2018. One of the girls had said, "Oh, I'm doing this show because I got a free entry to this show because I won this other pro
Yeah.
show." I was so confused. I was like, "What do you mean?" I didn't know anything. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that pros didn't get charged. And so she educated me, but I had to get that education backstage by asking questions I didn't even know to ask. So here we are. We can tell you all the things. So please do ask us
Yeah,
questions.
because we're learning too, like, as
Yeah.
we go through. I mean, Lacey's been a pro longer than me. She was bikini pro before turning to fit model pro. But like we ask, like we were talking about this earlier today, when we have guests on, we want to know what you want to ask them, because maybe there's something we might miss. And so we want your input. Okay, we're having this hormone specialist on, or this nutritionist on, or whatever, this XYZ, right? What questions would you want to hear us ask, that expert? And so we're going
Yeah.
to do some of that on the page, in the stories, some question boxes, and you can always feel free to DM us and ask us anything, us,
Yeah.
or ask us to ask a guest. We'll keep you in the know, because this is all of us, the whole community of us learning and growing in this sport together.
I like to think of it like you and I are just facilitating a large discussion.
Yeah.
We want all of you in it,
Right.
especially things like the implant thing, like breast implants. It's on everybody's mind. I do want to say something about that. I don't want anyone to think that you have to get implants to compete. I think the younger girls are a little more susceptible to that than us masters girls because we have life experience that teaches us a moment in
Right.
time is, you don't do it for competing because what are you going to get out of that? Do it for what matters in your life,
Yeah.
whatever makes you feel like you're living ready all the
Yeah.
time. I love that
Yeah.
so much,
Yeah.
Kyla, when you
That's
said
gonna be
that.
oh, thanks.
Yeah.
You want to feel good in your body, like Lacey explained, because I thought I had the same thoughts as you, Lacey, when I was going to take mine out. When I thought about that, I really, really took some time to think about it. And I was like, I got this incredible husband that thinks I'm amazing and beautiful no matter what, right? I look like, right? He does love my boobs. Like, let's not lie. And I know he's a butt guy, a boob guy. Like but he's like, I'll love you either. You don't have to have, implants, babe. But I was relating when Lacey was saying, she's in a robe, and she just didn't, there's no husband telling her anything. She just didn't feel
Yeah.
like this is the body I want to live in. So that's exactly why I have them too. It's just, I just feel better. I like the way I
Sure.
look in my clothes. I probably show them more than the average person, because I just think boobs are beautiful, but I've
Yeah.
always thought that
Yeah.
way, so
Me
you just got
too.
to do it for you. And so if you guys, ever have any questions about that, we both have been through experiences where some unfortunate things have happened, with our
Yeah.
implants. You're taking a risk no matter what you do if you're going under
Yeah.
surgery, so
I think it's helpful that we haven't had a perfect road with them because now we have some experience that we've lived that we can share to help you
yeah,
guys. And that I
exactly.
think is important. So that makes it all worth it to go through those hard times. But I
Yep.
will say this, I am actually really glad that I got those old ones out and had a little bit of a break because my surgeon said that's a good thing for preventing contracture. So that's
Right.
good. But these are better than the ones I had before
Yeah. You have
anyway.
2.0 boobies. You got 2.0 boobies. So
They're
do I.
so much better.
Yeah. The implants now are so much better. Like
Yeah.
the risk of rupture, because I was like,
Yeah.
I know, just like in capsular contracture, which I've had that before too. I had that in the first one. My first ones were like rocks. She would hug me and they were like so hard, and I didn't know
Yeah.
because I had capsular contracture. So you're at risk for that when you have it the first time. Also, when you rupture, you can be at risk for that again. I have a friend that had ruptured several times, and she just took them out because they just kept rupturing. So, I mean, I don't think I'm like that, but you want to know the risk, weigh the benefits,
Yeah.
for yourself, but there's a risk in everything. But here we are talking about
Here
boobs
we are
2.0,
with
but like mine should
with
not
our
rupture as
boobs.
easily. So fingers crossed for me and
Yeah.
Lacy.
Do you know what I think's gonna be fun is now that all of you girls know this about me, you know how pumped I am to get on stage again now because I
Yeah.
need the redo, right? So we
Oh
can all
yeah.
celebrate that together. Like you're all going to have inside scoop on how I'm feeling about this and how exciting that that's going to be for me. And it's not even going to be about the show necessarily, but it's just me redeeming something that made me feel kind of less than.
Yeah.
And you're all going to
Reclaiming
be able to
that
celebrate that. So
confidence.
I love that. I love that community of that.
What we're gonna do, Lacey, is we're gonna see your new pictures from Wasatch, and you're gonna post them, and we're all gonna just post the cherry emojis, just like
Yes.
underneath, comment cherry emoji, fire, dancing emoji. Just you gotta feel good in your own skin, y'all. So whatever
Yeah.
that is for you, like I hope that you choose that for you,
Yeah.
whatever that is for you, because I don't know if it's getting. We talked about this last time, getting in your 40s, like past 40, where you're like, I just don't care what people think
Right.
about my decisions. Like, I think you just care
Sure.
less. Like, I don't know, there's something
Yeah.
where you're just like, I'm not taking anybody's opinions besides the people that you trust and love,
Right.
but like everybody else, whatever.
Yeah.
So
I
just be
definitely
you,
can
do you.
attest to that. As I've aged, I definitely have found myself being a little more whatever. If you think
Right?
that, okay, great.
Okay.
It makes me
Like,
feel a little powerful. Like no one can hurt me more than I can hurt myself anyway, in terms of like, you can't hurt my feelings,
yeah. Yeah.
you know?
We're built different, us masters. We're built different. So,
That is the
um,
truth.
yeah, we're tough. We're tough. I love being this age. I like love being
Yeah,
over 40. I think it's just
me too.
been one of the best, one of the best decades so far, me personally.
I agree. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about boobs today?
No, I don't think so. Just check your boobies. I mean, my mom had breast cancer, so I'm always going to tell you
Yes.
check your boobies, get your mammograms,
Yes.
do your self checks. A good friend of mine, found something and it was something, and she, has gone through the double mastectomy surgery, and she's my age, 45. So it
Yeah.
just women are getting, finding cancer younger and younger. I've met many, and so just check and and please like advocate for yourself. Like
Yeah.
if they're like, oh, that's just this, because she had, there's some people that have had like cysts in their breasts, and they're like, oh, that's just that, or that, it's nothing. But you don't know it's nothing unless you check. So it could
That's
always
right.
be something. So just check. Do your self checks. If you don't know how to do that, your doctor will know how to do that. There's resources online. There's also, my friend in Utah goes to the boob bus. That's like a more comfortable way,
I
I've
love
heard, but
that.
that's lovely. I want that to be here. We don't have one here, but I've heard in Salt Lake, everybody like goes to the boob bus, and it's just like supposed to be this great experience of,
Man.
getting your boobs checked. So just get them checked. It's what you should be doing definitely after 40.
Yeah.
I've been doing it since I was 33 because my mom passed away. So my
Yeah.
chances just go up.
It's not as bad as you think if you haven't had it done. When I had my last 2 mammograms, I did not have my implants in, and remember, I'm a double A. I got nothing. I'm like, "What are you even gonna put in this machine to look at? What are we even looking at? Do you wanna get my chest in there, like, my whole, like, chest wall or
There's
what?"
some tissue in
There
there,
was
and
some to get
believe
in
it or
there, and
not,
they did. And they got it in there, and it didn't hurt. It was fine. But something else I wanna add in case you don't know this is something I learned from my family doctor. I have very dense breast
dense
tissue.
breasts.
So
Yes.
even though I did have the mammogram, they also had me have an ultrasound. And
Yeah.
apparently, the ultrasound can detect more than even the mammogram. And ultrasounds are really affordable, even compared to a mammogram if you have to pay for that. So just kind of have that on your radar too. If you're someone who's like, well, I kind of want to make sure,
Yeah.
go have the ultrasound too,
Yeah,
in
I've
addition to the
gotten both
mammogram.
because of my mom. I was able to do both of those. And I will tell you that a lot of times mammograms don't catch. don't catch it. They didn't catch my
If
mom's the
it's really
second time.
early.
Yeah. So just, just know that you got options. And if it's something that, you're concerned with, or someone, you is in your family that had it, like, just take it seriously. Take it seriously
Yeah.
and get those boobies checked. And when you
those
do have
boobies checked.
implants, something interesting to know is that you will be getting smashed in the mammogram more than the person that doesn't have implants, because they have to pull the skin away from the implants. So I'm just gonna be honest, it's not the most comfortable thing. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
It's just not comfortable. So you'll be getting more images done because of that.
You just endure it. It doesn't last that long. And if
No.
you go get a mammogram, take a selfie before you go in and share it with us, because we want to celebrate you for getting your mammogram.
Yeah.
That's very important.
So proud of everybody that does that takes care of their health in that way, because early detection is the greatest protection.
It really is. You can start treating it early if there is something. Sometimes girls are scared. They're like, I don't want to know. You do want to know, because you can treat it if you know soon enough. Oh, this leads me to thinking about something else I want to mention really quick. I've coached a lot of women who, it's surprising how many women have come through my path of coaching that have had breast cancer, double mastectomies, survived it, done wonderfully, been in remission, and then competed. Also, don't want you to think that your competition life is over if that should happen to you, because I've had lots of success with women who have went through that journey. And in fact, for them, it's very redeeming to say, hey, I've taken back my life now. I went through this horrible thing, and now I'm going to go get on stage. And man, that's beautiful. Those stories get me every time. Every time.
It is beautiful. I've competed with some women that I've met backstage with stories like that, and it's awesome. You've survived something amazing, and I think it gives you a new perspective on life and the challenges that you're going to bring to it. Yeah, you're going to overcome so much, with that. Like, there's got to be, I'm watching my mom go through breast cancer, and just, I don't know, there's just something like there's a warrior that's built in you, and she didn't survive, but she was a warrior till the very end. And it just, I don't know, it just makes you built out of something a little bit stronger after you go through something like that. So I love stories like that. I think that's so amazing that women,
if you guys, if any of you guys are on YouTube watching this, or if you're hearing this, go to the YouTube and comment if you've been through it, because you are a warrior and we want to celebrate that. So if you've been through it and you feel comfortable sharing that with us, go to the YouTube and comment and let us know. Because truly we would like to celebrate that. I love those stories, and your story might help another woman. So if you feel open to share it, just give a little thing about it on our YouTube channel, and maybe it'll help another woman. It's really something to take serious, and it's fun to talk about our new boobs that we got, but we got to talk about caring for them as well.
Who would have thought we'd talk about the second episode would be all about boobies, but the serious part, the fun part, the in-between part, but we're women, and it's good to talk about this with each other, because there's probably some of you that are thinking things, or had some questions about some things we've talked about. Maybe we've answered something. So we're going to, like we said before, we're going to cover it all. So get ready.
Nothing's off limits, right?
No. Nope. Not over here.
Okay. Well, I think we did a great job talking about boobs today. Thank you guys for listening to the number 2 podcast. I hope you'll come back for number 3. And I want to close by saying I love you.
I always say, whenever I post on Instagram, I say this, and it's in our exit, outro, if you will, of the podcast. Love you, mean it, Coach Kyla.
Yeah.
And I do love you, and we truly do mean that. We're doing this for you. This community is for all of us. So we love you, and we do mean it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Masters Bikini and Fit Model podcast. If today's episode inspired you, please share it with another athlete. Follow us on Instagram, and remember, your best years are not behind you. They're still being built. We'll see you next time. Until then, we love you and we mean it.